All right, so basically I'm going from a basic sine signal, which I made in Electra, which was actually provided to me by the Tone 2. So shout out to Electra X. But just this simple signal that after different steps, which I'll quickly run through of processing to get. Okay, so how it works, it's actually not adding no reverb, not adding no layers of any other archived drum sounds. It's just from this sine signal through a process of dispersing the sound using vibrations, a little bit of delay of the signal, and the coolest thing, um, distortion, phase distortion. So I managed to do this on FL Studio, which makes it still simple when explaining the steps, but a very technical thing that you have to do, and it's a very complicated, difficult process. But essentially, you need two buses. The signal is going to process and has to process again through the same bus. You can only take one insert and put into another in FL Studio. So you're going to make your dispersion bus. You're going to use a couple of different steps of processing, which leads to the ultimate phase distortion. And once you have that first level of processing on FL Studio, unlike Logic, where you can just put the next bus, you're going to go and put a second insert, clone it. So it's going to have another processing. So it's going and cycling through two different processes of the same exact dispersion. And then you're going to put it into three different comb filters. Get the one thick cymbal sound. So when I put it through, this is what it'll sound like without any of the effects. That's the sound coming out of Electra X after one process of phase distortion, which is the dispersion, through another process of phase distortion, which is the dispersion again, into these comb filters. There's three comb filters, parallel processing the final cymbal sound. The comb filter, each one has their own resonator band with an EQ on it, a little bit of a filter, a frequency boost, and of course you're going to carve it to get that sound that you're looking for, which is mimicking a real cymbal that you find on a drum. So it comes in with this signal sounding like the impact of the drumstick on the actual cymbal to get that nice loud cymbal sound. To this, three comb filters it took to do that. If I turn some of them off, you'll hear how they stack together, which is super cool because it's all synthesized. And another important thing, coming out of the dispersion bus, that first bus with the phase distortion, you have to take one of the signals and put into a dry signal. You switch the polarity of it. And when they stack together, it gives you a nice, very realistic sounding cymbal.
Ayo, shout out to Zion James with the coolest method and idea that he spent hours, of course, on the side of, doing what we do as producers, coming up with how to synthesize from just a sine signal, a cymbal. And I tried it. I did it on FL Studio, and I got a great sound with it. It sounds so real. You can tell it's synthesized, but just imagine the mix with, I don't know, future vocals. When you add that on the mix, it's perfect. How he made it was to replicate real drums. I'm going to incorporate it into a beat right now, and let me show you what it sounds like.